Welcome to Casting Forward Outdoors.
Good morning, folks, and welcome to this week's episode of Casting Forward Outdoors. I'm your host, Bret Palmer. We're solo today. We're on the 11-Point River. A little hot. It's the 5th of August. It's the day before my anniversary, actually. Happy pre-anniversary to my wife of 18 years. I got to get that in there. But anyway, it's August 5th. We're on 11-Point River in Dalton, Arkansas. And river's kind of low, but it's rained enough that there's just a little bit of color. They had rain come through yesterday. There's a little bit of color in this water, and I'm keeping it fairly simple. But I've got 4 different things I'm going to try, and I'm going to show you. First it's a little cloudy today, and I'm out here a little later in the evening. So Zara spook. I'm gonna go top water, especially if we get in the fast water, and then since the water's shallow, there's a lot of rocks. I got a square bill tied on. But the main thing that I'm here to try, and I'm going to probably use this more than anything, and it's the first time I've ever used it, is that Mitch Fields developed this bait, this company called Tackle Max, and he has developed a Hellgrammite, and it looks real. And this color is one he sent me. It's stone cold. It's kind of green pumpkin on the front, got that color on the back. That thing looks real. We're going to drag this around some too. I think that's a PB&J. Can't go wrong color in this river. One of my secrets. Anything PB&J, you'll catch some fish on. So let's get out here and see if we can catch some. Trying to cloud up, hope it don't rain us out. So y'all stay tuned right here in Casting Forward Outdoors. Let's see if we can pull out big. Needs to be one in there somewhere. There'll be one in there somewhere. Who's in that current? Get up here. All right. All right, folks. Got one there in the old blue crankbait. Yeah, there, folks. The first one caught him on a crankbait right in that shoal. He was in that fast water. So we're gonna let him go. See if we can get a bigger one. It's a good one. That ain't what we're after. When he hit it, I just quit feeling the ticking of the crankbait. That way, it was almost like dead weight because I'm unconventionally throwing up in the current. But this time of year, they like these shoals. Gonna go upstream, and there's a spot up there that you can pick apart this time of year. Usually you can catch some. There's some wood. Coming out of that. Yeah, he sure did. He was right in it. Goggle eye right there, son. That's a pretty thing. Folks, that'd be supper right there. Those are so good. Man, that's pretty. Look at them eyes. You see that? I'll take a picture of him. All right, let's see if we can get on up there. Oh, he had it. There's one. What have I got on this Helgramite? What have I got on this Helgramite? Look at here. I got another goggle eye. Man, that's a pretty one. They're pretty, aren't they? Look at that. Big enough to eat, but we're gonna let him go.
Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to the Caffeinated Cow.
At the Caffeinated Cow, they have 12 hand-dipped flavors of ice cream, milkshakes, root beer floats, and banana splits, as well as a full espresso bar serving up your favorite lattes, espresso shakes, affogatos, and drip coffee. Did I mention that all of their coffee is roasted right here in Rector at their very own roastery called Rawhide Coffee Company? So move on down to the Caffeinated Cow.
Looking for a new boat to run the rivers and lakes? Then look no further than Black River Boats in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Black River Boats specializes in custom building Blazer jet boats in just about any way you can imagine. They are an authorized Mercury dealer and offer top-notch sales and service of your Mercury outboard. They also carry many products to keep your boat looking and running good. So next time you're looking for a sweet custom-built jet boat to run the shallow rivers of our area, remember Black River Boats in Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Since 1930, Piggott State Bank set out to share the true meaning of community. At Piggott State Bank, community is family, neighbors, and loyalty, planting a seed and helping it grow. They know our children are Clay County's future. Whether reading at the elementary school, sponsoring local library functions, or funding scholarships for higher education, they give their time and efforts wholeheartedly. Piggott State Bank. The White River Zig Jig, a tried and true jig that has been catching trout in the Ozarks and beyond for over 20 years. Unlike round or symmetrical shaped heads which fall straight down, the offset shape of the Zig Jig head creates a zigzag, back and forth action. The Zig Jig is a hand-tied marabou jig with a powder-coated head and a very sharp mustad hook. Also check out the crossfire rod that is perfectly designed for throwing all sizes of Zig Jigs. It can all be purchased at zigjig.com.
There's some goggle eye up in here. Might have a little fun with them. They're up and right in between that grass. Oh, well that would be, that's a walleye. It's a walleye, son, on the Helgramite. Look at here. Get up here. That is a walleye. Huh. Looky here, looky here, looky here. He shook it off. He shook off the Helgramite. I saw him chasing it earlier. That's what I saw. There, folks. That pretty? 11-point walleye on a Helgermite. Oh, there's one. There's a smallmouth on the old Helgermite. Ain't a biggin, but he's in fact, he's real little. That's my first smallmouth on a Helgermite. So they will eat it. They'll eat it. There we go. What have I got? I've got something big. What have I got? Oh, I've got me. That's a big old smallmouth. Get up here. It's a better one. On the old Helgermite. It's a gooder, isn't it? Man, well, he's pretty.
Now it's time for this week's Casting for Christ segment.
You know, I saw Jimmy Houston speak one time at a men's event, and he was talking about his career as a fisherman. And what he was talking about is, he said, you know, when you fish for a living, man, you're really going to do a lot of casting. You're certainly going to do more casting than catching. So he said, man, if I fell too in love with catching, I wasn't ever going to make it as a professional fisherman. He said, I just had to learn to just enjoy pitching a jig out there, just enjoy casting and reeling and being out there. And as he talked about that, he, you know, then made a connection between how we as Christians share our faith. There was a time when Jesus was walking along the seashore of Galilee. He saw 4 guys that fished professionally, not quite the same as Jimmy Houston. You know, Jimmy Houston fished catching a fish on a pole. He was casting a line. These guys were casting their nets. They fished professionally, Peter and Andrew and James and John. And when Jesus walked by, he told them, follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. I think one connection between what Jimmy Houston said about just, you know, not being so in love with catching that you lose the joy in casting. I think a lot of times we lose joy in witnessing because we don't just enjoy sharing our story. It's all about the catch and not about the cast. And one thing is true in fishing, whether you're casting a net or casting a jig or a pole, you're not going to catch something every time you cast, but it is certainly true that you're not going to catch anything until you start casting. And so the way we cast, when we share our faith, is maybe it's sharing our testimony. Maybe it's just telling somebody else what the Lord's done for us, how good He's been to us, something He's done in our family or in our finances, in our life when He saved us. And maybe it's just a short verse of Scripture, maybe something that somebody needs to hear that applies to their situation, or maybe it's just a kind word to that gas station attendant or your waitress at the restaurant or your coworker or your neighbor. You know, just like Jesus said to those men, follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. They were still active, they were still casting, but instead of casting a net, they began to cast the truth of the gospel, the truth of their testimony, where their story and God's story met each other, and the difference God made in their life. And so, just like Jimmy Houston said, man, I just had to learn to love casting and not be so in love with catching that I lose the joy in casting. I think we'd really free ourselves up to witness more if we wouldn't feel the pressure to catch something every time we cast. We're not going to lead somebody to the Lord every single time we share a word of truth or a kind word or a verse of Scripture, but we're never going to lead anybody to the Lord if we don't start casting. And so whether it's sharing your testimony with a friend, whether it's sharing a kind word with a gas station attendant or a waitress at a restaurant, or whether it's sharing a verse of Scripture with your kids or your grandkids, man, you just got to start casting. That's how you witness for Jesus. Jesus told His disciples that they would be His witnesses whenever He left this earth, and that's still what we're called to do, to be witnesses. And so we're not going to catch something every time we cast, but we're not going to catch anything if we don't start casting. So just like Jimmy Houston said, we've just got to find the joy in casting. Just find joy in sharing your testimony, sharing a word of scripture, sharing a kind word with somebody. And that's just an easy way for me to remember it. Maybe it helps you too. Is we're not going to catch something every time we cast, but we're not going to catch anything if we don't cast. So let's share our testimony. Let's share a word of truth. Let's start casting the truth of Jesus out there. See if we can still fish for men.
Bishop's Florist in Campbell, Missouri has everything you need from floral arrangements, gifts, and even tuxedos. Just ask Florist.
Hi, I'm Florist Gump. I'm at Bishop's Florist, 103 South Ash Street, Campbell, Missouri. I've run from coast to coast to find a place like this, and you'll love it too, just like Janie and Lieutenant Dan.
Bishop's Florist, 103 South Ash Street, Campbell, Missouri.
What started with our grandfather and continues in its fourth generation today, Glen Sane's history of quality sales, service, and strong personal relationships that have kept our customers and their families coming back for over 69 years.
From my grandpa to my dad to us, service after the sale is a big deal. Whether you're looking to buy a GMC, Chevrolet, Buick, or Ford, we look forward to serving you and your family for years to come.
Hey, do you need a new boat? Well, you'll have to look somewhere else. But if you've got one, come see us at Rocks Marine, now part of Rocks Outfitters. We can get you the best electronics since '87. Tired of getting skunked on tournament day? Come see us for a new Garmin LiveScope setup to make sure your tournament day is full of catches instead of heartbreak. The only NMEA certified marine electronics installer within 200 miles. Carpet service, electronics, and more. Rocks Marine will get you on the water again. I'm Carter Kaiser, and I approve this message.
Tackle Max Baits is an exciting new bait company that makes crazy realistic baits with proven fish catching action. With proven river baits like the centipede, a lifelike hellgrammite, and the tried and true crawfish, we're introducing a new bait with one-of-a-kind lifelike action, the shark tail worm, the Tackle Max fugitive swim bait, and the one-of-a-kind action of the buzz feed. To purchase these baits, visit tacklemax.com.
There we go. Check this. That might be the darkest little smallmouth I've ever caught. Look how dark this thing is. Look at this. Now shook my hellgrammite off. He's a little rascal. He's a little rascal, but it's dark. Well, he was dark. Look, he's lightening up now. Check that out. He lightened up as soon as I got him out of the water. That is so cool. How cool is that? I'm glad I worked back up this thing. I'd like to have that big one. Maybe get a big one before it's over. There's another one. There's another one. Check this out. It's a little old largemouth. How about that? Okay. All right, we've moved upriver about 2 or 3 miles, and we found some rock dams up here, rock dikes. Water's low, but it's got some current seams right here, so we're gonna fish them, and I'm gonna float that hellgrammite down it, maybe a crankbait, and see if we can get a bite. So y'all stay tuned. I got a fish on here. Did you see that? I popped that off that rock and that smallmouth hit it. How about that? How about that? There. That's the biggest one I caught. It's pretty good in there. He ain't as pretty as some of them others. He's mottled up on the bottom, but man, that was cool. Well, that shows her here. Just putting that on a Ned head, you know, a mushroom style Ned rig head is what I'm rigging that on. And the ideal thing would be to have just a regular Ned head with none of them wire keepers or anything, and super glue that on there. I don't have that right now. It's in my other boat, but that would be the ticket. And I'm gonna show you, I'll show you how I rig that up. But oh, look at here. Oh, I got a good one. I got something pretty good here. It's a good one. I need to be down there. Come here. Well, I may wish I had my net for this one. Where's he at? Golly. Oh, there's another one with him. There's another one with him. It's bigger than him. Holy cow. I can see them both. Wow, this is a pretty one. Oh, stay on there. That's the prettiest smallmouth I've seen in a long time. Yes. Now, that's a dandy. He is pretty. Oh, that sun glare is kind of bad right here. Look at that. That is a pretty fish. Sun, sun, sun. All right, let's let him go. That's a good one. That's what you do with these river smallmouths, folks. You let them go. See ya. Man, that's pretty. Man, that thing's quit pumping again. I'm gonna have to call B&B Well Drilling.
If you're looking to get your farm well repaired or a new well put down, then look no further than B&B Well Drilling. They can install a pump or submersible turbine to fit the need of your farm. They can also lay underground pipe and risers to get your farm irrigation set up just the way you want. Next time you need a well drill or a pump repair, remember B&B Well Drilling in Corning, Arkansas.
Big Time Pizza and Bakery is a family-owned and operated business founded in 2022. You can dine in, take out, or have it delivered within 8 miles of the Rector city limits. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner options of pizzas, wings, hoagie sandwiches, nachos, salads, or a gift card for a future visit. So come on in and visit us anytime.
At Big Time Pizza and Bakery, don't just have a good time, have a big time.
Cox Lumber Company in Piggott, Arkansas has been serving the local community for the building and hardware needs since 1948. They have a great selection of lumber, doors, windows, and building materials. If they don't have it, they can special order over 75,000 hardware items. They also have free local delivery. Contact Tucker Myers or Jamie Parks for material estimates from a small project to a full construction of a new home. Serving the community for 70 years. Cox Lumber Company. Come by and see us today.
You imagine, we create at Unique Ink. Whether your small business needs custom branded merchandise or your family needs matching magical vacation shirts, we're here to serve all your printing needs. With a decade of experience and unmatched customer service, Unique Ink is your one-stop t-shirt shop. When you think custom anything, think Unique Ink. 1320 Red Wolf Boulevard in Jonesboro.
Oh, I got a good one. Holy cow. I got a good one. Oh, it's a good one. Oh, he's bigger than the other one. That's a dandy. No, that's a big old walleye. That's a big old walleye. That's a big old walleye. He hit that magic worm. Crap, I didn't get my net out. That's a big old walleye. That's a big old walleye. Stay on there. I'm gonna try to. Oh man, that's a dandy. That's a gem dandy, son. That's a gem dandy. That dude. Look at that. And that is a dandy. That might be supper. I'm really tempted. Take him home. Boy, that's a pretty fish. Man, that's pretty. He fought too. He's about 2.5 pounds, maybe 3. That's cool. I thought that was a big old smallmouth. I know there's another one down there. Come on, come out. Oh, look at here. I popped that off and I got another one. Check this out. Oh, that weight was hung down there. That weight was hung, and when I popped that off, this and hit it. Look at the size of this dude. Get up here. That's twice today I've done that. Let me get away, I want to hit the bank. That was hung up, y'all. I popped it out. I popped it out and he was on there. So what it is, the weight hangs and that worm's flopping around. There's no telling how many of them's down there. There's just no telling. Man. Well, folks, it sure felt good to get back out on the river. Man, it's last time I've been on 11 Point was well, it was in mid-March, and here it is August the 5th. So man, it felt good to get back out here and had a really good 4 or 5 hours of fishing. Caught smallmouth, caught a couple good walleye, one real good walleye, and some goggle eye, and caught them predominantly with the new Tackle Max, which that's a new sponsor this year, and it's a new company that just launched back in the winter. Mainly what I use today, as you've seen, this is their Helgermite. And how I rigged that was on a Ned head. That's just a Ned rig head. And I'm just putting it on there like a Ned rig. Like that, go on the top. And come out and push it up to that mushroom head. But one, just like that. That's how I'm using it. Well, just a fantastic bait. I did catch some today on a drop shot on a mini magic worm. That's Missile Bait's new worm that Robo helps John Cruz make, and I caught actually caught a real good smallmouth on that here toward the end. So that was my main thing. I caught a couple on a crankbait early with a reaction bite, but in these dog days of summer, if you can find a bluff like this, any river you're on, if it's Current River, 11 Point, I don't care, any river in the Ozarks, you find you a bluff this time of year, some deep water and some rocks under it, you're gonna catch some fish. So just fantastic. I gotta go. I got about a 5 or 6 mile run, and a little bit sketchy getting up here. The river's kind of low, so y'all pray for me on the way back. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed our Casting with Christ segment this week. Just trying to inspire somebody that needs to hear it, and it's a blessing to be out here in God's great outdoors. So until next time, I'm Bret Palmer here at Casting Forward Outdoors. Remember, stay positive and cast it forward. We'll see you later.